Afternoon everybody, it's your pal Mark the Metalhead here. Hope you're going well. This is part 2 of today's vlog. And we're going to be getting on the ferry to the Isle of Wight in the next half an hour or so. That's why I'm walking pretty fast paced, trying to get to the ferry port in time. Check-in is like 12:30, departure 1 o'clock. I was quite lucky the first few sailings of the day were already sold out, because that gave me time to go up to the north of Southampton and check out Benny Hill's grave. But today, once I get on the Isle of Wight, I'm going to get all the way out to Razzle's grave and then all the way back in time for the evening sailing, and then I get my bus back to London at 10 o'clock tonight. So all systems go. I spent a lot of decent money on this trip today. Like, I spent a tenner to get the bus out to Southampton back, and now I've spent under 20 quid to get the ferry. So the ferry's like at 9 quid each way. So I mean, I could have gone to Oxford today for 17 quid, but I thought, like, nah, I'm gonna push myself to the limit. I haven't been on a boat since I was in Brazil 2 years ago, so let's do it. At the port now, I'm just waiting to board the ferry in the next 20 minutes, leaving time 1 o'clock. So I'm just about to pull into port for the Isle of Wight. It's taken a whole hour to get here. That ferry over there takes much quicker time, but I guess it costs a bit more money. And if you miss this ferry, well, good luck trying to get on one of these boats over here. So basically, it's 2 o'clock. I've got to get from here to this little cemetery on the island, and then get back to the port before 7 o'clock, and then I should be back in Southampton by 8:30. My bus is at 10, and then I'll be back in London midnight tomorrow morning. So all good to see two dead British legends. So here I am, Isle of Wight. I only got a couple of hours till I get back on the ferry. The number 4 bus to get out to Binstead is not far from here. I'm on the number 4 bus now, going out to Binstead. Lady says if you're just going out to Binstead and back, just buy 2 single tickets, no point having a day ticket. But I mean, a single ticket for this bus ride out to Binstead is £3.50, so it costs a bit similar price than what I paid this morning for a day ticket around Southampton. But you kind of realize, like, let's just say if you lived in Southampton, you would not want to commute it to the Isle of Wight every day for work. Maybe you could, like, live on the Isle of Wight, but you know, paying £19 a day on the ferry, it's not worth it though. Now the number 4 bus is going to drop me off at Binstead, Fleming Arms, and it's only a short walk to the churchyard. So once I get there, I'll pay my respects to Razzle and then get back on the bus. I've actually had to turn my phone off now to save the battery, so I can show my ticket to get on the ferry and show my ticket to get the bus home, because there's no USB charges on these buses, and you just have to get, like, lucky if there are charges or not. Matter of fact, I don't understand why some shops don't just sell, you know, USB chargers. Not the cable, but basically the plug to charge USB devices. If only I packed that thing last night, I wouldn't have this issue. So I'm in the Binstead part of Isle of Wight. Bus number 4 can take you directly here, which is one bus, no changes, and for about £3.60. Yeah. So the church he's buried in, Razzle, it's just down this road. So the funny thing was I knew where it was located, so I won't need to turn on my iPhone. I simply know it's an English church, and it's got the whole typical, you know, churchyard where people are buried. And so this afternoon we're going to go visit Razzle from Hanoi Rocks. Now, you name a band from Finland, most of you people would be saying, you know, Children of Bodom or Nightwish or Lordi. But before all these bands ever existed, there was Hanoi Rocks. And Hanoi Rocks made a little bit of an impact in America. I'm not too sure if they ever did have, like, you know, a top 40 hit, but I mean, their albums pretty much did make a little bit of a dent in America. Unlike in Europe when it pretty much just exploded. Yeah. And so it was on the anniversary of John Lennon's passing, like 8th December, when Razzle and Vince Neil driving a car, both intoxicated. They had both been at a party. They wanted to go to the liquor store, but you know, Vince Neil driving under the wheel with under influences of alcohol, maybe drugs and all, ends up crashing his car. And so later on, the guys in Motley Crue, they were like, God, Razzle and Vince have been gone for so long. So they got in a car and they drove, and they end up seeing Vince Neil getting arrested, put into a police car like that night. And Vince Neil, he only spent like 30 days in jail. He had like a suspended sentence for a couple of years, but no major jail time, even for causing like the death of Razzle, or, you know, crashing a car, driving while intoxicated. I had a friend of mine, alright? I had a friend of mine who, on the night of my 23rd birthday in Australia, he drank a lot of alcohol, and then he ended up like crashing his car. He lost his license for a couple of years. He had to stay away from Canada, as you know, he wasn't allowed to go back there to see his in-laws. He would have to meet up with his Canadian wife in America, and that would totally suck for him. But then life changed for him. He finally got his PR in Canada, and he emigrated there to be with his wife. That's a good mate of mine. So I should be reaching a churchyard soon, but I'm not using my phone because I want to save my battery. Church road leading to Ladies Walk. Coastal path. So I followed my own instincts, my own nose, headed north, and here I am. Holy Cross of Binstead. And I'm also quite lucky I bought an umbrella from Savers today for less than $5. Because, you know, it's going to be grey skies. But, you know, I'm going to get back on the bus today. So for all these people who want to come here for church, these are church times on Sundays. So I believe Razzle is buried, I think maybe around the corner. These old graves over there. And I know he's got a small plot because of his ashes. A small square tombstone. It looks like I can see some drumsticks in the distance. And I'm very certain, yep, that's definitely Razzle. Oh wow, and they've all bought him the whole good things. I've got him beers and wine and Heineken. So here it is, in loving memory of Nicholas Charles Dingley, or as we all came to know him as Razzle. Died December the 9th, 1984. I kind of find that hard to question, like if he... I used to think he would have died like 8th of December. Sometimes, maybe that is right, maybe that is wrong. I'm not too sure. I'll have to look that up when I get home. Age only 24 years old. You know, that's the same age Cliff Burton was, and he died 2 years later. And now, I just can't believe that my camera tells me the batteries are going flat, but that doesn't bother me at all. And a lovely fan has left this vase, the keychain of Razzle's photograph. And let's not forget, these drumsticks have been here for many years. I wish I bought him a pair today. So there he is, one of the standing members of Hanoi Rocks. Rest in peace, Razzle. God bless. Take hold of the flame. There's a saying in life that only the good die young. Razzle was a talented drummer. He had his life ahead of him in a prime band, Hanoi Rocks. And even though he wasn't Finnish, it was an honor for an Englishman to play drums in a Finnish band that wanted to take on America and the world. It's been 37 years this December since we lost him. And, you know, you can say bad things about Vince Neil for what he did, but you can forgive Vince Neil for what happened. But then always remember the saying, such is life. Vendi, vici. I came, I saw, I conquered. So, I have been wanting to visit Razzle's grave since December last year, and I added his name to my list of places I want to vlog. So basically said I want to go to Southampton, the Isle of Wight, to vlog the graves of Benny Hill and Razzle. And here I am today, even though it has cost me a bit more money than a trip to Oxford. I am proud to be here, rain, hail or shine. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. And it's very sweet to see a little spider at his grave. Little black and white garden spider. I used to have a fear of spiders, but now I know this spider is probably less harmless than the ones back in my country of birth. Well, Razzle, it's time to let you be. God bless. Take care up in the great gig of the sky up there. Hope you're rocking with all the latest musicians that have came to join you in the last couple of weeks. Carry on, my wayward son. Carry on. So as I'm leaving behind Razzle's grave right behind my shoulder, a sense of honor and accomplishment has gotten through to me. Because yesterday I'm sitting at home in London. I'm thinking to myself, I really don't want to go to Oxford and pay £17 tomorrow. Or, I really want to go to Southampton, but I hope the ferry ticket doesn't cost too much. You only live once. YOLO. And I have been a British resident since 2015. And I have been coming to the United Kingdom since 2011. So even though it has taken me 10 long years to come to the Isle of Wight, it's taken me 6 years of being a British resident to come to the Isle of Wight. I'm glad that I came here. Because one thing's for sure, if Razzle was never buried on the Isle of Wight, maybe I wouldn't have came here. I don't think I would ever go to an Isle of Wight festival. I'm not that type of person who wants to go to popular music festivals like Download or what do you call it? One of Somerset, Glastonbury. Yeah, I'm a guy who likes to save his money and put it in the poorest countries of Earth. So, yet again, I'm gonna head back home now. I'm gonna head back to the port. I've done my job. I've killed 2 birds with 1 stone today. I've visited 2 famous people's graves in this one great country. And so, as I may stay home in London for the next few weeks and not travel outside for a bit, I want to thank you all for joining me on this video. And if you've had a fun time on my travels to the Isle of Wight to visit Razzle's grave, give it a big thumbs up and subscribe. I'll see you on the next video. This is Martin.